there, welcome to the channel. I'm Cindy Daychuck with Queen Bee Creations, and we've got a fun, cute, quick little Christmas bauble to do. Just because I'm not ready to let it go yet. So what I do have are clear glass. I have glass ornaments. This would work with plastic as well. And we're going to be using some acrylic paints. So I'm going to do two variations, one with white on the inside and one with green on the inside. What I'm going to do with the paint is I am going to, this one I already have about a tablespoon of white in there. And I am taking maybe about a teaspoon of top coat. So that's just a liquid acrylic. I'm just using Fusion, the gloss top coat, because that's what I've got open, right? So there's no magic. I wouldn't hesitate to use virtually any. And if you don't have a top coat, but you've got Mod Podge, I would use that. This is just, the acrylics that I'm using are PBO. They are high viscosity, which means they're super thick. So I need it to be able to move inside my bauble. I could dilute it with water, but because I've been recommending to people that they could try with a top coat, I'm experimenting with the top coat instead. So this one we're gonna do, so that one's a white one. This one's a green one. There we go. So this green, by the way, what's this color called? Cadmium green hue. The white is just white. And what we're going to do is this. So I just want to mix this up till it's nice and smooth. Oh, shoot. Okay, that's top coat on my lip now. Mixing. I'm gonna demonstrate, I think, with the green, because I think that you'll be able to see the green best and easiest. But what we're, oh, here we go. What we're gonna do is once this is mixed nice and smooth, we're gonna pour it into our bauble. Here we go. And then we're just going to roll it around. So here's the thing. You could put your thumb over and shake it, but I've heard from some people that shaking they can't do. So you can just roll it around. Now, you can see this looks like it's not going to cover, and it's very slow moving and not rolling everywhere. There's more than enough to cover and to fill this bauble entirely. So what I am going to do is I am going to take just a plastic cup and I'm going to turn it. And I'm just going to move it so that, let gravity do its thing. It's going to start rolling it down into all those places that I don't have it. And I have one done over here. And I'm going to keep doing that. If I just leave it sitting like this, I'll get a lot of the color that just pools down there. But as it starts to dry up and thicken, it's going to stay nice and evenly coated. But if I just had it upside down, I would have the excess paint drain out, and this is going to start to get all streaky. So I'm just going to keep rotating it every so often, just wherever it looks like maybe there's a weak spot or it's not drying evenly, until it's dry enough that is going to stay coated, right? So you can see already, look, this is doing, I'm just letting gravity do its thing for me. And I'm just coating my balls that way. And I will let it go. I'm gonna do this, and we're not moving on to the next stage until this has had the night to be able to dry and thicken. But I'm doing this in the morning while I'm still in the shop, so that I have most of the day to keep rotating the balls so that they don't have the chance to dry streaky. Okay, so that's the only, if there's a difficult part or a challenging part, it's just leaving yourself the time to rotate your balls, right? So that you've got a chance to be able to get in there over the course of the day and just keep turning them every so often. It's kind of like, you know, you're trying to hatch eggs. You just have to turn them under the heater every so often, right? We just have to go and we have to keep turning our balls so that they're going to be drying nice and evenly. And see, look, this one is almost all entirely coated. And once it is, then I'm just going to keep it up on that cup so that, again, gravity doesn't work against me. I can keep rotating it to ensure as it's starting to thicken up, as it's starting to dry out, that I still get a nice even coat inside the bauble. So I've got one little spot left there. But don't make the mistake of thinking that you needed more paint in there, right? That tablespoon of paint with that teaspoon of, you know, the gloss top coat or Mod Podge or whatever. Now, you could use water if you want to. I'm just experimenting with using the top coat to see if that's going to give it a better life, if it's going to go on smoother, if it's going to be easier to extend out. I want to see if there's any cracking. So I'll tell you as we go. You can always use water, and I've done that successfully before, but I'm experimenting with this one. And then this one's almost ready. So we're just going to get these fully coated, and I'm going to spend the day rotating my baubles so that they stay nice and covered and nice and even. The fun part of these comes when it's time to decorate them up. So the white ones, I don't think it's a big surprise that I'm looking to make into snowmen, snow women, snow people faces. And here you get to give them whatever expression you would like. So this is a fun part. I am just using Sharpie permanent markers here. If you really make a mistake and you're kind of going, oh my goodness, they're cross-eyed, or that's not the look I want, you can take a little baby wipe or an alcohol wipe and wipe it away. Let's give this one a big smile. And maybe let's give this one some eyelashes. No, that looks weird. Okay, so see, just wipe it away. And that looks weird. You know, you can take it away and just start over again. And we're going back in. Let me maybe give them their nose, and then I'll work on an expression. So, just to define this as a snowman. Let's do this. And the orange, you just kind of go over it a couple of times, and it ultimately comes out looking more orangey. I just want it to dry a little bit there. And then let's give them a little bit of an expression line here. And then I'm going to take a thinner Sharpie, and I'm just going to define that carrot nose just a little bit. doesn't necessarily like to draw over top of the other, but we don't need it to be bright. I just want to give it a little bit of dimension here. And he's looking like he's got one big eye, one small eye. So let's make this one just a little bit bigger. Okay, I feel better about that now. And these are just super cute, right? Like you can have these, oh, excuse my reach, right? You can have a number of these on your tree, different expressions. They're gonna look so adorable. So let me just put those guys over. And this one's a little more challenging. For this one, I have a paint marker in white just because I need to, I was going to give him yellow eyes, but it doesn't really show on here. So the snowmen are easier only because they don't have to look like anything. They get to have whatever expression you want to give them. This one, obviously, it's green. We're making him look a little bit like the Grinch. I'm just trying to get the length here. And I'm not sure I'm the best at getting these screaming Grinch, but he has sort of slanty eyes. And I need that to dry before I can do more with that. So let's just see about his mouth. I'm kind of giving myself working points here. So kind of, let me see, curling a little bit and swooping down to the point. He's got a little, and just okay. So here he's got eyebrows coming down. Okay, my hand slipped. I need that to be a little closer. So let's do the other one. All right, it's a start. And let's just wait and let the white dry before we can carry on with him. Once the eyes are dry, oh, that's a little better. What's going on? Okay, so once the eyes are dry, you can start to add the details to the eyes. When I was filming doing the eyes, something weird went on with my camera and it's flip to slow motion, but you can see that all I did was I outlined the eyes and put the little pupils in, and pretty simple. It's just that the whites needed to have that. And I did give him eyelashes because the Grinch actually has big, long eyelashes. So we gave those to him too. We have our little ornaments. We've got our little snowman faces. You know, I'm, in the interest of full disclosure, they're not fully dry. And then we have our little Grinch faces. So they look Grinchy, but you know, they're not perfect. And I'm okay with that because you know what? Neither am I. So all that remains is I will put the little hangers on and hang them up. But I think that the biggest thing on this is just having the patience to let the paint on the inside dry and just keep rotating them. They don't dry quickly. There's just a little hole. If you don't, then even if you think that they look perfectly coated, if it's not dry and then you hang them, all the paint will slide to the bottom and it will just pool there. So you need to keep rotating them, let them dry. It's been 24 hours. They're not perfectly dry yet, which is why even though I've drawn the faces, I'm still sort of rotating them on cups, right? So they're still sitting on cups and I'm still rotating them a little bit because I'm impatient and I wanted to get on with the faces. But you can do that and then just still rotate them a little bit. I stop rotating when I feel like nothing's moving, and then I'm good to go. So this isn't necessarily a do today, like do this morning and sell this afternoon kind of craft. It's a paint up all of the baubles and just keep rotating them. Egg cartons are perfect for this to be able to do. And then, you know, just sit and do your faces. Now, obviously, the marker, if I take a wet cloth, it's going to pull off. So I'm okay with that for these just hanging up on my own tree. If I was looking at selling them, then I'm going to seal them. So you're going to have to coat the exterior with, you know, a polyacrylic. I would probably do a light spray before I would try brushing anything so that I'm not wiping faces away. Just, you know, stuff is hard to stick. If you really wanted to, if you get oil markers, they don't come off. So the Sharpies will still sort of wipe off, but you can get, like I use the oil paint pen at the end for a little bit of the eyes. And if you got those, if you wanted to invest in those because you were doing a lot for a market, they're gonna stick. So once they're dry, you'd have to scrape to get them off, which would be the best way to go around that. And again, it's not like you're gonna be using a lot of colors. You can get away with white, black, and orange for these ones. So 3 markers, you're done in terms of your investment. Let me know what you think of these ones, guys. They look really fun. I think that they're great for a kid's tree. I think the snowman, if you did a bunch of those, you want to save yourself time, just buy a bunch of white balls, right? I think the Grinch green ones are a little bit tougher, but if you're doing snowmen for the tree, buy some white ornaments. If they're not shiny, if they're the plastic matte kind, this is going to be permanent. So you wouldn't have to worry about that coming off at all, and you can just have your kids go to town and do all kinds of faces all over the snowman. They could even do front and back, so there's a face no matter which way it turns. I think that would be a lot of fun to do with kids. The Grinch one's a little bit more involved, I think, and a little more challenging, but you know what? You find bright green balls. That saves you too. Who knows? They're probably out there, I would think. I had a lot of fun with this. I think that it's just kind of a sweet and cute little project. Let me know what you think, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Until then, take care.